Hello, welcome to the Love in the Night Readathon vlog. I totally messed up. I thought today, which is Monday, November 9th, was the first day. I actually thought it was the 8th today. So I thought that the Readathon started today, but then I looked at my phone and it said the 9th and I'm like, what the crap? So it actually started yesterday. I actually finished a book yesterday, but I didn't start it yesterday. I don't know if I can include the book since I didn't start it, during the readathon, but I did finish it. So it was one of my books on my TBR for the Paranormal Romance Readathon, which was last week. I didn't get a chance to I only read 3 books during the readathon, so most of my TBR didn't even get read. So that was one of the books on my TBR that I really wanted to read, which was Visions of Heat by Nalani Singh. This is the second book in the Side Changeling series. And I have the third book, which is Caressed by Ice, on my Love in the Night TBR. So I don't know whether I want to include it, but I was reading yesterday. I just didn't vlog anything. So anyway, today is the first day that I have vlogged. And I have started reading a new book this morning. It is Some Quiet Place by Kelsey Sutton. This is actually on my Love in the Night TBR. So this was for like reading something different because I've never read anything like it before. It's a girl who feels no emotion. She feels nothing at all. It's like she's just in nothingness. And the emotion she can see from things from like that regular people cannot see. She can see each emotion is like, a figure. She can see them, she can talk to them. She sees things like mist and fog, like she can see them. And so all the emotions have kind of left her alone because they know that she cannot feel any of their, what each emotion is, except for fear. He is very highly intrigued with her. He always is trying to scare her. And she just isn't scared because she doesn't feel anything. And so now there is starting to be kind of a mystery because in her dreams, she sometimes gets these snippets of these images and she paints them because she doesn't know what they are. And then fear brings her a newspaper clipping from when she was a little girl and that she was in a car accident, and then all of a sudden the newspaper clipping goes blank. So she thinks somebody took away her memories, including her emotions. So there's kind of a mystery. We're not sure what has happened to her in the past because when she was little, she did used to feel emotions. So something happened along the way that made her who she is. And so that's where I am right now. I'm reading it, and I will update you when I have more read. Good morning. This is technically it is the third day of the vlog. It's the second day I'm filming because I totally missed the first day. So welcome to the third day of the Love in the Night Readathon. I stayed up very late last night reading Some Quiet Place by Kelsey Sutton. I just could not put it down. So I started reading it yesterday morning and I finished it at almost 2 o'clock in the morning last night. I read it in one day and I absolutely loved it. Of course, I rated it 5 stars because that book was just amazing. And it's like, of course, it's kind of like a mystery throughout of it because you don't know what the main character, the heroine, is, because she's not exactly, your typical human because she feels no emotion. And fear, the emotion fear, is very infatuated with her. And so she's trying to figure out, what happened to her that made her this way. and I can't tell you anything about it because it will spoil it. Just know that this book is amazing. It was so different from anything I've ever read, and I loved it so much. So definitely a very good read. I'm so glad that I read it. It's been on my TBR for a long time, so finally picked it up and loved it. I highly recommend it. I have read like the first 30 words. I'm to Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. That is what I decided to start next. I've just had a busy morning so far. My son is doing school right now, my older son. My youngest son is hanging out with me. I figured I'd come outside and update you because I didn't want you to hear the his teacher is going to be in the background. So I'm outside during this clip, and it's very cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain. I love the rain though, so as long as I'm not in it. As long as I'm home, I love to hear the rain. It makes me feel very cozy. Yeah, I love the rain, so hopefully it will rain today. It's very humid, so it's not unusual for Florida though. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and hop on here and tell you good morning, and that I read Some Quiet Place yesterday, and I'm starting Mating the Huntress today by Talia Hibbert. Hi, I am sitting on my couch. I know the lighting is not the greatest, but I'm just loving this book by Talia Hibbert, Mating the Huntress. I didn't read the synopsis for it before I started it because I just knew it's Talia Hibbert, so I wanted to read it. And it was a novella and paranormal, so perfect for the readathon. But this book, I am just like hooked, and it is very interesting. It's about a girl who is in a family of huntresses. Like, her sisters are, they hunt werewolves and kill them, and her sister was on a hunt and she was wearing her sister's jacket. The werewolf smelled her jacket and said, "Oh, it belongs to my mate." So it's kind of like a fated mate situation. And then he stalked her down. She works at like their little cafe. It's their family business. And he's been coming in there, and he's been trying to get the courage up to ask her out, and he finally did. And so now she's at his place for their first date, but of course she knows he's a werewolf, and it goes, she's planning to kill him. So, and he has no idea. But now her body is like betraying her because she is attracted to him. Because they're mated, they're mates. They haven't mated yet, but they're mates. And she is realizing, like, he's not just this awful creature that she thought he was. Like, he's an artist. He carves things, and he's just being very thoughtful to her. Like, their first date it's like a couple of days before Halloween. And so they decided to watch, she would go to his place and they would do like an evening of horror movies. And he was trying to make his house like the most comforting for her. And he like bought her favorite cupcakes. And so, I don't know, it's just so sweet. And she's kind of confused, because this goes against everything she's ever been taught. So it is just a really good book. I think I'm only on the second chapter. I think there's 8 chapters in this novella, but it's already so good. So I'm usually not a big fan of novellas because I like a full story, because you get all the character development and the full plot and everything. Novellas just seemed very rushed and oftentimes full of insta love, and I'm just not for that. But this novella has me hooked, and it's really good, and I wasn't expecting that. So anyway, I was just hopping on here real quick to say that. So I'm going to go back to reading. My youngest son is laying down for a nap. My other son is still working on his school, so I have a few moments to read, so I'm going to do that now. Alright, I am making supper. I am just making nachos for supper. We haven't had these in a while, so I figured I put them on the menu for this week. So I've just put chips on my pan with ground beef with the taco seasoning in it, and I put black beans on it. Now I'm going to put shredded cheese on it. And then after I put the cheese on it, I will stick it under the broiler on my oven and just get that cheese melted on there. And it toasts the chips a bit. Makes it really good. And then we'll top it with like lettuce and sour cream and salsa, onions, all those good nacho toppings. There we go. Pretty quick and easy supper, and also very delicious. Okay, just kind of wanted to show you the finished product. I put it under the broiler so it kind of melted that cheese, kind of toasted the chips. Got some sour cream and salsa and some lettuce. I still need to cut up an onion, but that's pretty much it. That's dinner. So about to serve it on our plates and we're about to eat. Hi everybody, today is day 4 in the Love in the Night Readathon, and I just wanted to go on here and give an update on the books I have been reading and have read. I think my last update was when I was reading Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert, and I finished that yesterday. It was so good. For a novella, it was absolutely excellent. I gave it a 5-star. I don't think I've ever given a novella a 5-star before. So this is about a girl who is in a family who hunt werewolves, and when her sister kind of accidentally meets when they're on like a hunt one night. It was a full moon, and she's wearing her sister's jacket, and the werewolf smells it and said, "That is my mate." And so then he finds her. She's working at like their family coffee shop, and he tells, he's just like hangs around for like a few weeks, to try to get to know her. And then he asks her out and she agrees. She knows who he is, like he's a werewolf. But she has not been able to be a huntress because a witch told them at her birth that if her first kill would rip out her heart. So she has not been allowed to be a huntress. And she kind of wants to prove that she can, so she's planning on killing him. But of course they are mated, and she doesn't realize this, but she starts discovering who he is, and their view of werewolves, they think they're all bad. But then he explains to her that no, they're not all bad. Some are lost, they're rabid and they are lost to killing, and those are the ones that do bad things. But the ones who can control it, like him, are just regular people who just have been cursed with this werewolf gene. So she gets to know him, realizes that he is more than just what she thought he was, and it was just so good. I've never read a novella that I liked as much as Mating the Huntress. And then last night I read Barista and the Bear. This is the group read for the Readathon, and I gave it a 3-star. It was just okay. It's not bad, but it wasn't fantastic either. It was just okay. Especially after reading Mating the Huntress, it just fell short. And the story, so there's this girl, she has lost her aunt, she is now living by herself, and she is working at this like coffee shop as a barista, and she knows, you know, there are shifters, there's fae, there's, you know, witches, all these magical creatures, and because her employer is a bear shifter. And then one day a guy comes into the coffee shop and he's a bear shifter, and he says that she is his mate, and she is fighting it until her coworker, you know, just kind of explains to her that, you know, if she fights this, it's going to, you know, make her actually sick, and, you know, you can't fight magic, pretty much. So it was okay, take it or leave it. Not the worst read, but not the best either. And then after I finished that last night, I started A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole. This is a vampire series. I'm thinking, I don't know if everyone is a vampire, but this is about a girl named Emma, and she is half vampire, half Valkyrie. Her mom was Valkyrie, her dad was a vampire. And she, she is mated to this werewolf, and he has been held captive for like, I forget how long it was, but it's been like centuries, I think, that he's been captive. And then he gets a whiff of her, and he knows that this is his mate, so he escapes and finds her. And the werewolves and vampires are enemies, and so he is pretty much disgusted that his mate is a vampire. And she doesn't know that they're mated. He just kind of pretty much takes her and demands for her to, you know, because he's from Scotland, so he demands her to take him back to Scotland. And this is a really interesting story. I'm really loving it so far. Yeah, I've heard great things about the series, and I am hooked in this first book. So I will let you know when I read more of it. Today is Veterans Day, and my husband is off work, my son is off school, so we're just hanging around the house, doing some cleaning, and hopefully I'll get some reading done today. Hey guys, I just am now editing my Love in the Night TBR. It's been like a couple of weeks since it's been over, but I wanted to go ahead and film a finishing clip to wrap this video up. I didn't vlog the whole week, so sorry about that. It's just recently been crazy busy, so now I'm just going to wrap up what I did read for the Readathon. So I ended up reading 4 books. I read Some Quiet Place by Kelsey Sutton. I read Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. I read Barista and the Bear by Rebel Carter. And I read A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole. All 4 books were excellent. I loved each one of them. I rated Some Quiet Place by Kelsey Sutton 5 stars. Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert 5 stars. Barista and the Bear by Rebel Carter 3 stars, and A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole 5 stars as well. So I had a great reading week. I didn't read everything on my TBR, but I did mark off all of the prompts on the bingo board except for one, which was read a sequel. I never did get around to, I was in the process of reading Caressed by Ice by Melanie Singh, but I did not get it finished before the readathon ended, so I still did pretty good. I really enjoyed participating in the Love in the Night readathon. Let me know what you read for the readathon if you participated, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.